I'm Joshua Graham with Dig It, and this is...
Hi, I'm Ross Irving, Curator Collections with Fife Cultural Trust here in Kirkcaldy Galleries.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what brought you here?
I've been working for Fife Cultural Trust since June, and before then I worked for the National Museum. I was an assistant curator in the World Cultures Department. So yeah, totally different collections, working with anthropology.
Anthropology, I'm all there.
Yeah, you're all there, okay. And I'm actually a history graduate, so you know, you can use your history degree to go and do a whole range of things.
So history and anthropology means you really bring a different perspective when you start looking at objects than some like an archaeologist or an art historian might.
Yeah, absolutely. So
these two things are part of the Treasures Found exhibit. What was the whole idea behind that when it was put together?
So I think when we were first looking at creating the touring exhibition and also bringing elements of our own collections in here, one of the things that we really wanted to celebrate was the treasure trove system. So actually recognizing that so much of the contemporary collecting that we do, so much of the new objects that come in are handed in by metal detectorists, by the general public who find things in their garden, things in fields, and it's so important actually that those things find their way into museums so they can be preserved. And
just in this case, we're talking about the Bronze Age. There's this awesome Iron Age strap here, Roman objects, and even modern metal. So how do all of these different things find their way to you from Treasure Trove? When
they come into Treasure Trove, museums have to bid for them. So we put in an application that says, this object relates to this particular museum, it falls within the local area, or it's really, it kind of enhances or adds to this particular collection. And then Treasure Trove decide, okay, which museum is kind of best to take it, and then it's kind of allocated to you. We also, the finder is offered a reward for finding it, and I think this is a really important part of the process. So it's incentivized, it encourages people to hand in finds. The finder can waive the fee. They can say, I just want to hand it in, but actually, I think it's important that we recognise, that they are often actually putting a lot of work into it. Yeah, absolutely. And they could easily just put it into their drawer, or keep it for themselves. But actually, handing it over and kind of allowing everybody to get access to it. I think one thing that we've also found is that by acknowledging finders on labels, by saying this was found by X, actually that's often worth as much as a financial reward, actually being able to come into a museum and to see the thing that you found is on display and it's got your name, attached to it.
Well, as an anthropologist, for me, that makes them a part of the history of the object now, because they're always going to be on that label in that collection in that museum.
Absolutely, and I think that recognizes the role that they have played in kind of bringing this object to light.
So we actually had one of our volunteers find some flint down near the Antonine Wall. Mm-hmm. We talked to it about with Natasha at Treasure Trove, and so something like this might end up in a collection like this one day.
Absolutely. I mean, I think if there's a really interesting story attached to it, that's absolutely what we're looking for, to put into a display like this. It's really important that everything's handed in, whether it is just a small piece of flint or whether it's a gold ring.